Hello, everyone. Welcome to the May 28th, 2025 meeting of the Mayor's Task Force Against Domestic Violence. This meeting is being recorded by the task force. If any other persons present is doing the same, you must notify us at this time. Just us. Roll call of members. We have a few absences today, but we do have enough for a quorum. Councilor Perry, Naomi.
Here.
Katie.
Here.
And then we have Amanda, Scott, and Megan are absent. But we have a relatively light agenda today. I'll put it up on the screen for you through the computer, but we have the translation maps. I have a few printed copies on the table. So now with having both the Spanish and Russian translations along with the original, we can finally get them printed out. And the timing is actually really great too, because I think we can literally just use the rest of our fiscal year 25 money and then get the reload on July to print more.
So great.
Good time.
For other languages, yeah, or even more of these or whatever, yeah. Very cool.
So do we think we do an even third for the request? So my move, at least what I'm thinking, usually I print stuff through the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
It's tough for them sometimes to give a quote, like a specific quote before they print. So what I would probably do is just tell them what the budget figure is and just say
Do as much
print,
as they can for
do
that.
as much as they can within that, which
Their quotes are always the lowest. They're always below any others. When I get them, they are always the lowest quote too. And
Yeah,
they're
by far.
fabulous. Yeah.
The one
So
time I
I
had
think
to
no matter what. Yeah.
the one time I had to print something through Staples, I was like, oh, I didn't the sheriff's office.
And they do such a good job too.
Yeah, they really
But
do.
we also love Copycat too, and they're like a great local business as well. Although obviously they can't beat the prices of the sheriff's department, they're still awesome.
Yeah.
In terms of numbers, I think so. I don't know. I mean, I'd be curious, but my thought is to actually have more of the ones in English printed, and that is not to because of less importance of the Russian or Spanish ones.
A population.
But
Yeah.
more because of population, but also because there's probably gonna be changes and we'll need to do another round of printing.
Mhm.
And so I think that it makes sense to do fewer of these so that there aren't a lot of old, outdated, ones in other languages than English floating around there. Because it might discourage us from then printing more of those,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Because
That
I'd
makes
like to keep them current, so I'm thinking it might make sense to do 50% English and 25.
I think
That
that,
makes
But I
sense.
don't feel attached to that.
I think that makes sense.
That
Okay.
sounds perfect.
And I think that if we have requests for more in any language, Spanish, Russian, or English, we can try to see how we can make that happen,
Mhm.
either with money from this task force, or if there are other places that could do, printing. I personally, I'd chip in a little of my own personal money to have more printed because they just seem important,
Yeah.
So I think we could probably figure it out, but I'm just really excited that we're at this point. And yeah,
Me too.
super cool.
And usually the sheriff's office, it'd probably be like a week and a half. So we can literally probably have these out before the next time we meet. So
That is so great. The only thing that I'm noticing is that these both say December 2024. Is that okay?
where just, at the bottom.
Yes, because that was the last, do we want to change that? Or
Yeah, I could see if we can update that.
and I'm sure that for the Russian even, the Spanish isn't hard. It's very easy to just change it to the month and the year. I'm sure most several of us could do that actually. But for the Russian, I don't know if any of us know Russian even enough to do that, which I don't. I can't even read the letters, but I'm sure ChatGPT could help us with that one line
Yeah.
and be fine. So I don't know. I'm happy to do that, or if you want to do that.
Sure,
with
I
one
can look
line.
into it. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I think it would be pretty quick. If you just ask ChatGPT how to say
Would we have it be May?
I think it makes sense to say,
Because I know all changes, I think, ended in December, that's why, and then the
yeah,
translation happened after,
I
but
think May would be perfect.
Mhm.
Because then we know that's the latest, and that's also, it kind of is cool because Nelquit
the
actually
name change.
officially changed its
Yeah.
name to the Resilience Center of Franklin County in May.
Yep.
So I think that's great. Wade, do you have any thoughts about this?
He can't see it either, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, but I know what you're talking about. I don't think people are gonna really pick up on that much. So I don't, so it'll be fine. You know, the way May will be fine.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. I think that's great. I do think having 2025 on there will help people to feel it's more current though. So
For sure.
I think that seems great. Thank you for doing that. And if you want any help doing that other, just that one line change, I could definitely do that.
I
Sounds
did
good.
text my friend who speaks Russian.
Oh, awesome.
I sent him the photos of this so I can ask.
Just to change.
Yeah, just to have it say May 2020, if he can even just tell you how to say May 2025. She, I shouldn't have assumed.
He,
And I know, Jacqueline, who's been to a few meetings, she was very interested in, looking over the translation. So I sent her the Spanish version to give
Oh,
it a
perfect.
look over too.
Great. So Jacqueline is fluent in Spanish and you could take a look at that.
Totally, so that's her first language, yes.
Oh, that Jacqueline.
Yep, so Jackie Perez.
That's
Yes,
it. I didn't.
yes.
Jacqueline, Jackie, I wasn't. thinking
Yep,
of her.
Jackie.
Yes. Oh,
Jackie.
that would be
Yep.
awesome. Yeah. That's so.
Yeah, and she's excited about having this in Spanish, so cool.
Perfect. So I think we have a good plan. I'll just, as a formality, a motion to use our remaining fiscal year 2025 funding for the printing of the social service walking mats. Can I have a second?
second,
Thank you. And I'll do a quick roll call vote. Counselor Perry,
Yes.
Naomi,
yay.
Katie,
Yes.
and I also vote yes.
Yay.
Perfect.
I say yay, even though I can't vote.
Having your support.
I
Yes.
think this will be like a great like rollout to like to
Mhm.
see kind of the initial,
Mhm.
you know, effectiveness and outreach, and then
Yeah.
fiscal year 26 we'll have opportunities to expand it. So
Perfect. I have one quick question, which is, did we decide sort of like the sort of how thick the paper we wanted? Are we just doing this kind of paper? Are we doing?
I would do something
thicker?
thicker,
That's
yeah,
what I
for
was
sure.
thinking.
Like a card stock,
That's yeah.
Yeah, something that's sort of like the slightly thicker. I mean, I would maybe.
so it doesn't
ask-
rip immediately.
Yeah, maybe the sheriff's department. could
I
give
just
us
printed
their-
these out from
Oh, no,
our
that's
printer
perfect.
just to like look at.
Oh,
but
no, that's perfect.
I
was just
agree.
wondering what you thought.
Yeah, card stock would be perfect, I think.
We love details.
Yes. I do have one question also, and I think maybe this was already covered, but in terms of it rolling out, I think, are you putting this on your website?
Yes.
Like that, and I didn't know in terms of, I don't know if you need or want a press release, because I know our
Oh, yeah.
office, Lori Loisel, who does all the logo, I don't know, I mean, I know
Great.
you also have relationships with the recorder, but she's in contact with all of them too, so she could probably do something and would
That
be
sounds
happy
great.
to.
Yeah.
Right?
That's great.
Great.
Yeah, for Lori to do that. And then I
She'd
think,
love to.
we could have, I think, basically multiple places like the DA's office and obviously,
Mhm.
the mayor's office, City of Greenfield, and we could put on our website just like hey, there's this new resource, and then put a link to the digital version that you're going to have up.
Mhm.
And then also put, like where it can be found, and it can be a list that we can update. So, I think the question is, where will it go initially? I know it'll be at Nelquit right away. I'm assuming the library, but I don't know if we've actually gotten permission from the library.
She did, unless that was an oversight, because that would be an amazing spot.
So it seems
Oh,
like the
Anna
important.
would absolutely be into it.
So, I mean, I can't imagine they would.
Right.
But yeah, but that'd be great, especially since the original version starts with, with the library.
Mhm.
Yeah, right, I mean,
Yeah.
sure.
And we're gonna get some printed, which originated at the library and some that originated at, Franklin at, Resilience Center.
Yes.
Great, okay, perfect. So maybe that's what we could do for, oh geez, that's a little confusing though in terms of printing.
I was just gonna say, so we're gonna have two starting points?
We are, I mean.
I knew we talked about it, but in terms of printing, so then you'd have to generate another one with.
Generate some more, yes.
Okay.
That is a little tricky.
Yeah.
We talked about doing, Amanda's not here, so it's tricky. We had talked about, first of all, maybe doing multiple.
I remember that.
Like, if we just do two to start.
Yeah.
We talked about like maybe CSO or something,
Mhm.
but I think that I think that these are all close enough that it's like a lot of the stuff is near the library, so I think
Mhm.
that's really fine. Obviously, DA's office is so close, et cetera.
Right.
Yes.
When my friend just responded with May 2025 in Russian, but is this supposed to say created in May 2025 or what? What is that
Yes,
supposed to say?
I can see that says,
Let's see.
or made or
Completed,
whatever.
I think to be
As
completed.
of,
The
as
last-
of maybe.
Oh, he says the last page says updated in December 20.
Oh, updated, that would be.
Yeah, updated or completed or whatever it says.
Updated. How do you say? Do we want updated in May 2025?
I think
Yes.
it's good. Yeah,
This should be
perfect.
perfect. Yeah, I have the file right here.
Right.
Perfect. So I think we have a good plan of attack for this. Any other questions, thoughts?
I think the only things that probably makes I don't know if it makes more sense to do more for the library or more for, like, with the library version or more with the Nelquit version, and I think probably more with the library version makes sense, but
I think,
maybe leave it to you to figure out the exact,
I don't think it's a bad idea to like focus on the library version first, especially because we'll have the opportunity to print more very quickly.
Because I get it, because July 1, then we're in
Mhm.
here. So maybe this is our fiscal year 2025 rollout
Yep.
is library, and then as of July 1st, we can get some more printed and do some for Nelquit.
Yep.
Does that make sense? Okay,
Makes
that's
sense to me.
good. Okay, that's
yeah, I
good.
think that's good.
That's a cool way to do it.
Yeah. And plus, I think you'll hit more groups with the library. I mean,
Yes,
yeah,
so too.
perfect. I'm excited about this.
Same here. I didn't have anything else really. So does anyone else have any announcements, any news, anything?
No, I think I just want to bring into the space again the importance of housing.
Mhm.
And because I know that came up as a very, important topic for us last time we met. And I don't want to forget about that.
Mhm.
And if there's anything that we can do as a group in collaboration with other task force or groups within Franklin County, I would love to see some, actionable projects, fundraisers, whatever that looks like. Grant writing, something to be able to get housing, because I know we've all heard Amanda say, Red Roof Inn in Deerfield is the only option and they're taking people from all over.
Yeah.
And it costs so much for someone to stay there.
And Nelquit and Salson have used a lot of their
A lot.
personal funds, which will eventually dry up too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yep,
that is
I
an
think that's-
ongoing issue.
I think maybe for fiscal year, 2026, we might want to think about like, what are projects we want to focus on? And could we do something housing related that would really be supportive of, people dealing with relationship violence?
Mhm.
Right. So we have the aftermath support part of it,
Yeah.
but also the prevention side of things.
Yes.
And I feel like we could really hone in on those two.
Yep.
Yeah,
I know that we want to, do some prevention work with our youth. And so that can absolutely be doable.
yeah,
That feels like a very easy task
Mhm.
for me in collaboration with whoever else to work on. But then the housing thing is going to be a bigger beast in itself.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
there's something that we can think of, like a big fundraiser to just even start a seed of money
Yeah.
to begin the project would be wonderful. Whether it's a 5K, a 10K, it doesn't have to be a race, doesn't have to be a run, but
Yeah.
taking into consideration that we are, a struggling county financially.
Yep. And if we could get a decent amount together while it's warm before it becomes even more of a struggle when it gets cold again, it's always a struggle. But when the cold comes, there's not even
Right.
really the option to sleep outside. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, even thinking, we have so many resources here and so many people that want to contribute. I'm even thinking if we got a local celebrity or someone, I forget that Ben over at Hawks and Reed is
Oh,
always getting
yeah.
people in,
Yep. Yep.
So I'm just, there's definitely ways that we can make this happen. And I know that we all feel very passionate about it. And I just want to make sure, now that it's summer, there's kind of a little bit of a lull in my work because school's out.
Mhm.
And so I always take summer as the incubation time of okay, let's craft up new ideas.
Mhm.
Let's see what else we can work on. and really get prepared for the fall, because we have our big plans for the fall, like doing a bigger drive at the fairgrounds, right? So,
I love that plan. I think it'd be great, our next meeting to really just have that be like a workshop.
A planning.
for
Yep.
FY 26 goals, and to have a roadmap that we can consistently hold ourselves to and follow. So I think that's a great idea.
yeah,
I'm sure everyone will have a lot of great ideas for that.
definitely. And I know my fault is that I'm like a big picture, so you guys may have to just rein me in and be like, oh, wait, this is actually doable, because I'm very much
Yep.
like we could do it all and make it
Yes.
huge, but realistically,
Not a bad thing. Yeah.
So,
It's great to dream big and then figure out what's possible there.
Mhm.
You know, I think that's, so thank you for bringing that up. I'm also wondering if we just want to mention like that the Franklin County Task Force had its
yes.
opening. Thank you all for working on that. It was really amazing. And so if people are interested in this topic, you know, they can be part of the Franklin County Task Force Against Domestic Violence as a community member as well.
Yep.
And is there someone who would be good for someone to contact?
I don't mind. I feel like, yeah,
Okay.
I'm happy to do that.
Okay,
It's
great.
a really great turnout.
Yeah,
It
it
was.
was. And then did you want to mention the event with Lisa Fontes as well? Is that?
That's what I was going to ask, if that's something that so for those that don't know, coercive control has been passed as, recognized as a form of abuse. So that law was passed this past year. Yay. So I'm putting on a training with someone who is an expert in coercive control at GCC. Happy to invite everybody within the task force if that's something, but I don't know if I'm allowed to do an invite outside of.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, so an invite for that. And also I'm putting on a judges panel this month on coercive control. So that's an opportunity for anybody to ask the judges anything they want in terms of coercive control. So I'll put out those two invites.
Sounds good.
To everybody.
Perfect.
Cool. Thank you for that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was a reader on Dr. Fontes's book before it was
were
published.
The Invisible Chains one?
Yeah.
I went to one of her book readings and yeah, she's awesome. I was just on the phone with her at 10. Yeah.
That's
she's-
What date is it?
It is the June 23rd.
I'm not going to be.
It'll be at GCC in the dining commons, 8:30 to 12:30.
Great.
In the judges panel is the 26th.
8:30 to 12:30, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
She's gonna do the training and then I'm gonna do a panel of like community members and attorneys.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to be.
Are you on both dates? Well, I'll invite you to both, but will do.
I'm away the 18th to 27th.
Oh, so that does cover the bills. Right. But yeah, she's great. That's cool.
I haven't talked to her in a long time. This has reminded me, I should like just send her an email and say hi. Anyway, sorry, we can end.
Oh, perfect. You're good, you're good.
We're just chatting.
My friend.
Sorry, people of Greenfield.
Thanks for bearing with us.
My friend sent me the Russian translation.
Oh, that's awesome.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Great.
So if there's no other business, I'll put out a motion to adjourn.
Someone want a second?
Second.
Perfect.
Sorry, I was focused on emailing us.
All right, perfect. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, counselor.
Good to see you, Win.
Bye,
Yeah.
thank you.